Hey, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Tessa-Marie show. How are you doing? And I am Tessa-Marie. So I hope you're doing well. I'm going to send a little bit of invite out to the crowd and see who's coming in. Hi, Rusha. Hold on. I'm going to oh, Hassan is here. Oh my goodness. I don't have to do much work tonight. Hello, hello, and welcome to the Tessa-Marie show with Zantheman. Oh my God. So there you go. He is here and he's on time. Okay, that's the man of the hour. So it's the Tessa-Marie show.
Let's go. What's up, Tess?
Yes, I am here with Zantheman Smith. So come on, guys, and welcome to the Tessa-Marie show, and let's hear what this man has to say. So before we start, I need to introduce you to the man of the hour.
Okay, good.
Energy himself. He brings energy every day, everywhere he stops. He brings energy. That man has his hands in 120 pies. And while he's mixing the pie, he's mixing the music, he's dancing, jumping. He just brings us alive. And there is Zantheman. Now, the thing about Zantheman Smith is that you don't know him. He used to be a DJ, guys. So you can imagine the music is in his soul, and he pumps us up on the movement makers, and we just take him on, we go with him, hello.
That's a tattoo.
And he actually is a tattooed movement maker. So you can imagine the man takes this stuff seriously. So tonight, we're going to have him tell us about his confidence coaching thing. He's into confidence coaching. And you know, confidence does not run in my family, it gallops. In my in the Shenanigans family, confidence doesn't run, it just gallops right through, it takes us out, and we keep going. We don't know how to stop. So having met Zan through the movement makers, I've always been intrigued by his energy. The other stuff is on his bio, you can check it out, but the energy is worth looking at. You have to see the man. When the man comes and he plays the music, the band goes crazy. So that's one of the things you have to remember. Zantheman brings the music, he brings the energy, and everybody takes him on. Now, he comes into my den. The man decided he wants to come on the Tessa-Marie. What is he looking for? Can you imagine what he's going to get tonight? You're going to get whooped, you know that, right?
Oh yeah.
No, yeah. I promise I'm going to be gentle. But I wanted to tell you guys about him because he has so much energy and he was on time. Because that man knows this woman here believes time is a non-renewable resource, and she doesn't take it lightly. And I've told you already, when the angels come calling and you say you're going to be on at time, they're there, they want to give you the energy. So obviously, we got the energy tonight, and we're going to do this. So Zan and I have a relationship because of the movement makers. And last week, I did a live on competence, concentration, clarity, and I purposely held confidence for the last. And the reason why I did that, it was a strategic point. I knew if he heard the word confidence, he would jump in. But did not showcase confidence until the end because I was expecting him, and just as I predicted, the man came. So what do you think? I'm an intuitive or not? I knew the guy. I studied the man, and here he is.
Oh yeah.
You know, I believe in you.
And I believe in you too. Thank you.
But I want to hear you talk about confidence, because I think somewhere in the back of my mind, I have a different take on confidence. I have never been a herd follower. I have never followed the group. I have always set my own sails. I have always taken the unbeaten path. I push myself, and I push those around me and in front of me, and I drag those behind me. So your take on confidence and mine might not match. We've never touched that subject together, have we?
Okay.
So let's let you do it. Come on, bring it on.
Well, you know, I think, well, look, Tess, every time we get together, it's magical. You know that. Every single time we get together, it's the best. So what I would like, and this is your show, but if we could, I like.
I beg to differ. You are my.
But I would like, I think it'd be more interesting and more engaging if we go back and forth.
I'll do that.
I like the back and
You have the floor.
I like the back and forth because I think it'll make it more interesting.
That's
it's more spontaneous. It's not rehearsed. It's more off the cuff. And it's more real and it's more authentic.
Okay.
So since we're talking about confidence, we're definitely gonna cover, guys. Welcome to the Tessa-Marie show. I'm honored to be here, and we're gonna be covering the 3 types of confidence, because there are more than one type of confidence. There's different levels of confidence. There's different areas of confidence, and we're gonna cover quite a few. And also, for the first time on a show, I'm gonna introduce my brand new framework around confidence.
Oh, that should be hot.
Yeah, this one came to me in a dream.
Wow.
A few days ago, and I'm going to be able to physically show it to you guys. All right. So it's a brand new framework. Nobody in the country or in the world has this framework.
Wow.
And I want to find a way to create a framework that just gets to the answers and the solutions quickly. So we're gonna share that with you a little bit later. So you gotta stick around.
Yeah,
so in the meantime,
guys, call your friends, tell them we're live, and tell them this is a dynamic movement makers. Wake up, we're here.
This is gonna be a barn burner. Let's go. So Tess, when it comes to the subject of confidence, many people have different definitions and have different meanings of what confidence is. So give us, if you don't mind, give me your thoughts or your perspective on confidence, because you definitely have it. You definitely have it.
Well, I would love to, but you're the guest. The floor is yours. Handing it back to me. Dangerous stuff. You don't do that to Tessa-Marie.
Let's go.
You don't put her on the line. You never put her on the line.
This is good.
And you're going to be told. You don't want to be told, do you?
Yes, I do. Yeah, come on, bring it. Bring it, Tess. Come on. This is what I live for. I live for this. Come on.
So confidence begins from the inside out. Confidence is inside. You have to know you're confident. You have to feel confident. Confidence is like a drug. When you take it, you know it's coursing through your body. Confidence is an emotion that does not die. The more you use it, the more it lifts you up. But confidence is charming. Confidence has voice. Confidence is strong. Confidence is witty. Confidence is witty. W-I-T-T-Y. Confidence has abrasiveness. But the type of confidence I love to showcase is the confidence of wit. The confidence of wit allows you to engage your people around you. Like I came on tonight and I brought wit. I said, welcome to the Tessa-Marie show. I am Tessa-Marie. I'm bringing Zantheman, and I told them all I knew about you that's not on your bio. That's it.
I love it.
So that part of confidence is special.
Yes.
I was taught to be confident that way. The show is about me, so I will inject some of it in. But that type of confidence takes a lot. It takes something deeper than just standing and shouting and jumping up and down.
Exactly.
Confidence, it has no arrogance. Confidence is not arrogant. It's not egotistical either.
No, you're right.
It's certainly not abrasive. When confidence has abrasion, it hurts. It doesn't only hurt the person that is showing that type of confidence, it hurts the person that is receiving it and seeing it. So confidence, as you can tell, I am a dresser of, I love clothes. I design, make them, and I wear these unusual colors. I throw them together and I strut my stuff, and I don't care. But that in such a way, it's okay for me to do it. I'm not going to ask you to do it. I feel okay. You like it, the colors might dazzle you, the stones on it, like on this jacket, might send you to get your sunglasses. It's okay. But that is my one thing of confidence, is that I do and I take the steps I want to take to get where I want to go, knowing that this was my entire decision. It's not leaning and extending to anybody else. And that's confidence I bring into the world. That is just one. So back to you. Tell me what you think of my type of confidence. Now remember,
I love it. I love it. You wear your confidence very well. I love that you said that confidence is not arrogance. What people sometimes do, they do confuse confidence for arrogance and arrogance for confidence. Arrogance is fake confidence. Arrogance can look like confidence and smell like confidence and walk like confidence until you test it. Because arrogance comes from a place of fear and insecurity. Confidence comes from your mindset and your skill set. So when I define confidence, when I look at confidence, you said something which is so important. You said confidence comes from the inside out. And you was 1,000% correct. I love it. I define confidence as the positive belief that one has in their talents, gifts, and abilities to achieve and succeed. And I always look at confidence as it's threefold, but I normally push twofold because that's what people get right away. But when we talk about the three different types of confidence, well, here's the three areas of confidence. But what you said earlier about confidence coming from the inside out, you're absolutely right. First, confidence is a mindset. It's an attitude. Confidence begins with belief, believing in yourself, believing in your talents, your gifts, and abilities. And that's an inside game. It starts on the inside first. Next, confidence is an outside game, and that's a skill set. And thirdly, confidence shows up in your social life. So let's get into the three areas real quick. The three areas of confidence all starts with the letter S. So first, the inside game, which you were saying earlier, it starts on the inside, is self-confidence. That's the inside game. That's you believing in yourself, believing in your talents, your gifts, and your abilities. That's the inside game. That's the mindset, attitude. Because attitude is a combination of your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs. Now, here's a little controversy. I don't want to make it controversial, but people they think confidence is a feeling. Confidence is not a feeling, it's a force. Now the feelings come later. Feelings are the effect. Confidence is the cause. It's cause and effect. When you are confident, you will feel confident. When you're not confident, you won't feel confident. You feel the fear.
Yeah, let's look at a couple statements from some of the guys, because some of them are saying some wonderful things here.
Yes, they're very smart.
Yeah, we need to stop.
And let me finish up the three areas real quick. So the second area of confidence is success confidence. They all start with the letter S. First is self-confidence. The second area of confidence is success confidence. That's why it has to be a skill set. It's your skills that pay the bills. It's a skill set, and skills come from doing or practicing over and over and over and doing things. And the third area of confidence is social confidence. That's more, I call that a life set. That's part of your lifestyle. So anytime someone, even with my clients, when they're lacking social confidence, I always go back to the mindset and the skill set, because your mindset plus your skill set will equal your social confidence.
But since we talked about arrogance, a few of them made some notes, and I like to go back just to make sure they.
Yes, let's go. That's why I like the back and forth. This is great.
And one of them was, they said, because of arrogance, because those that are insecure people who fear themselves. So that is something to think about.
Yeah, well, you know what? When people lack confidence and they know they need confidence, they start pretending. We call it fronting. They start acting like something that they're really not. And the arrogance is there, but a lot of people, because they don't understand what confidence is, they will fall for the arrogance, thinking that person is really confident when that person is really arrogant. And you can always separate those arrogance from the confidence. Test them, because a lot of times people who are arrogant talk, big talk. Okay, let's test them and see if they can back it up. Let's hold them accountable.
That is true, and that was what I guess Donato was going. And there's another one from him. He said, "Believing in yourself is key." You talked about that. Just touch on it again. Okay, look. Okay, let's go further. Woo, you got me sweating. I love it, Tess.
Yes.
I bring the fire.
I know. Don't mess with Tess, and just say yes to Tess. Okay, so we talked about the inner game, believing in yourself. Okay, look. Let me say this: everyone has confidence. What? Yes, everyone has confidence, even though you're not born with it, but you learn confidence as you grow up. You can get confidence through your environment, through education, through your experiences. But what happens is that a lot of people have low confidence. There's 4 levels to confidence. There's levels to this. The lower level, there's a low level of confidence. In fact, let me see if I have, oh, here we go. Look, there you go. It might be up. Can you see that?
I can see your pyramid.
It's a hierarchy. So there's low level 4 is low confidence. Level 3 is mid confidence. Level 2 is high confidence, and at the top is the highest. So most people live at a lower level of confidence, and it's not really their fault. It's just that we live in a society, we live in a culture that bombards us with negativity. What I call it the 4 enemies of confidence, which are, I share this with, if you can see this real quick, these are the 4 enemies of confidence. The first enemy of confidence is fear. The second enemy of confidence is doubt. The third enemy of confidence is confusion. And the fourth enemy of confidence is negativity. Now, we live in a society and a culture and a media that's always pushing those 4 things on us. And so that's one reason why a lot of people have low confidence. So when we talk about how to gain and build your confidence like a muscle, you first have to start with your beliefs. And so you have to believe your way into more confidence. That's that inner game. And as you believe your way into more confidence, you're going to get the feeling that you feel confident. But that's just a feeling. Now you have to go do something. Now, when you believe plus action equals confidence. So once you believe, then you have to act. You have to go do something. You have to behave your way into more confidence. Behave your way.
So tell me something. You have 3 things that I know about you. You said working for your father's business.
Yes.
And high school. These were your lessons to get you to be better, to be confident. And all of from you. Now there is this person that has this young child growing up, like really small. How do you start with a 3-year-old to teach them confidence? What can you do?
Oh, this is good. Okay, so good. This is good. Listen, if you got a 3-year-old is going to learn their way through the environment they grew up in. So I would say there's 3 things that impact a little baby, a little young one, especially when they start talking. When they can start talking, you start giving them affirmations for them to speak. But even if they can't talk, you speak affirmations into their life. You tell them how special they're going to be, how strong, how smart, how intelligent. You tell them. And they're gonna believe everything you notice a 3-year-old, you can say, pigs fly, where? They believe anything because their brains are not developed yet to have critical thinking. The conscious is not performing yet. It's all subconscious. So whatever you tell a 3-year-old is gonna believe. But more important than that, 3-year-olds learn more from their environment than anything that you say. They watch you. They watch everything. So start setting things up in their environment that helps their self-confidence, because this is what's going to happen. As their self-confidence builds up, then their self-esteem is going to build up automatically. Their sense of self-respect is going to build up. Their self-identity is going to be built up. So your environment is the first thing that affects your confidence. It's the first thing, because there's 4 main ways that we develop our confidence, or I should say 4 main sources. They all start with the letter E. Number 1 is environment. Number 2 is education. What have you been taught? And environment, what did you see growing up? Number 3 is entertainment. Entertainment has such a huge impact. There's always messages in entertainment. If you see as a little girl or a little boy, you see images on the screen or in the movies that's kind of down-putting, you begin to feel that about yourself. If you see the opposite images of someone being a superhero, but they don't look like you, it affects you. You follow me? Because entertainment has a huge impact. And the fourth E is experiences. When you have certain experiences that changes you for life. So you have a little 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 10-year-old, 50-year-old. Those four things can change you. And also, as we get older, we can start surrounding ourselves or being there. We get to choose when we get older who we hang out with. But as a 3-year-old, your parents are everything. Your family is everything.
Well, I have a question on that. I have a different attitude about this. You know why?
Talk to me.
Because the most common thing we say to children is the word no. And let me continue. We tell them no, no, no. We don't give them examples. We don't tell them why we're telling them no. We just say, no, you can't. No, you may not. No, you can't. No, stop it. No, no, no. And I have looked at it and I have found out that takes away your confidence. So this is the person who grows up, and when they say, do you want to try some drug? They are not able to say no, because no has been wiped out and beaten up and teared from their life from the age of 2. And when I was raising my children, I knew that. And one of the things I had to say no, I gave them a reason why I was saying no.
Right.
And so when you meet, because you're going to be coaching people with families, are you touching on that? Are you going to tell them that no? Because they're so accustomed of beating it out of children that these become adults who cannot say no for various reasons.
Right. And I'm not a family therapist. I'm not even a family counselor. But what I do, I deal with the individual. Listen, there's different reasons and parental where people say no to their kids. Some could be for their safety, for their security. It could be for their own fear of trying to keep their kids safe. People have different reasons why they teach their kid, why they teach what you're teaching. I think your perspective is unique because you understand how the mind works and how it has an impact. Other people, I don't know. They could be saying no because they're annoyed. I don't know their reasons why. I just know that when someone comes to me as an individual,
I am telling you, is a word that we should reconsider. You're coaching them to be confident. You know, and I know, if you cannot say no, you have no confidence. That's why you cannot say, I don't want to do this. Well, you're lacking confidence and self-esteem,
Right, but you referenced my father. When I was a teenager growing up, it was easy for me to say no.
But you grew up with a father in a,
right, and that's the point I want to get to. Because of the environment I grew up in, because of the love and the protection and the approval and the validation I had from my father and my mother and my family, I had such a strong identity. When my friends say, hey man, smoke this, drink that, I'm like, no, well, you a punk, you this. I say, you know what, it doesn't matter because I know who I am, and I know, and I was very confident in who I am and what I wanted. I had my standards, I had my principles, but it's the same thing with other people. If they come to me, I'm like, okay, we have to work on you. Because at the end of the day,
he's working on them. That is working on them. I was crossing a major highway, a major road in Toronto, and this lady was dragging a 3-year-old boy, and she's tugging at him, and she's telling him, no, you can't do this, and if you don't do what I say, you're going to end up in jail. I took my car, I drove into the gas station at the corner. Parked the car, I came out of the car, I chased her down 2 or 5 steps ahead of me, and I told her, who is this child? And because it was summertime and my window was down, and I heard her. And she said, my son. And I said, why are you dragging him and telling him so many no's? You're telling him, I said, what is the problem? Oh, he wants to walk the street by himself. He doesn't want me to hold his hand. I said, well, can't you? I am protecting you. I'm saying no to you. When you get older, you can hold my hand. And she looked, she said, I never thought of that. But I asked her, where's the father? He's in jail. I said, okay. And I said, I heard you telling him he's going to go there. I said,
And you see what I'm saying? That will affect a child has an active imagination. And if you plant negative seeds inside of a child, that child will have a negative image, a negative self-image, and then that will become fulfilling because listen, there's an old saying, you can't beat until you see it. Now, if you see it, you will be it. So seeing is believing. Seeing is believing, not just on the physical plane, but also on the internal plane. So if you see something in your mind, that's why visions and dreams are so important. That you what you see, you be. You follow me? So that's why. And listen, that mother that you just mentioned, she might need some therapy. She might need some coaching.
Voila. That's what I'm saying to you. You have these people coming for confidence because they themselves heard no, and no was beaten into their butt for hours and hours of no.
Okay.
And that's why they have no confidence in some of these cases, because they didn't believe that they weren't taught to believe like you. They weren't taught to believe like me.
Well, but that's why it's so important to understand the elements of confidence. There are 4 pillars to confidence. Okay, number 1, confidence is a mindset. Number 2, I will go get my framework to show you, but it's over there. But it's 4 pillars. Just imagine 4 pillars, and we're gonna address this. The first pillar is mindset. The second pillar is skill set. Here's what we're talking about. These 2 pillars. The third pillar is process. It don't come overnight. It takes time. That's why coaching is so important, because you have to take them. They have to have several sessions. It's like training. You can't lose weight overnight. It's a process. It takes time. And then lastly, it's a practice. Confidence is a practice. Yes. It's not something you just wake up one day and you get. No, it's a practice. But first, it's a process. So a person like that would need to come into like my confidence university or my confidence coaching program, and we have to take them through a process. And when that person gets flipped over, so to speak, then they can teach other people. Because when a person acts the way they act,
I understand.
I'll give you a formula. Check this out. This is good. This isn't even part of confidence, but okay, I'll give you the confidence formula, but also just a formula for life. The confidence formula is A plus B equals C. Your attitude, inner game, plus your behavior, your outer game, and what you do equals confidence, okay? But also just looking at people, period. And I teach this as part of my relationship program. A plus B equals C. Same formula. Attitude plus behavior equals character. Now, when you meet someone, you talk to someone, if you really want to get to know a person, you don't normally get to see their character right away. That takes time. But their attitude, listen to them talk. They're going to tell you who they are through their attitude, because your attitude is an output of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And then the B, your behavior. Watch what they do. So you listen to what they say and watch what they do. They tell you who their character is. So you see someone acting and talking to a little child like what you just mentioned, that says a lot about who that person is, because we reveal ourselves every single day, 24/7, 365, by what we say and how we act.
I agree with all of that. The point I'm trying to make with you, and I will hold on to it until I choke it, is that when somebody is taking our confidence courses, your confidence class, whoever teaches this, that person is there because they lack confidence. What is the root of their confidence problem? Were they once that little boy at the bus stop?
But that's what I was telling you. The test is you really have to take it on a base. You don't know how a person grew up. You don't know their childhood. You don't know if they've been abused. You don't know how they've been educated. You don't know what experiences they had. You don't know what entertainment they watch all the time. For example, entertainment. I have friends and family members who love horror movies, and then they wonder why they're always scared. Because horror movies are wonderful, they're entertainment, but they plant seeds of fear in your subconscious mind. So one day when you need to be confident, you're not going to be confident. You're going to be fearful, because all that fear been planted inside your subconscious mind. For years, you watch hundreds and thousands of hours of horror flicks. So again, and then you look at the environment people grow up in. So it's a case-by-case situation, because if you and I are in the same environment, or me, you, and 2 other people, something may happen in that environment. But because of who we are, we're going to react to it differently. It's going to happen. It's the old saying, it's not what happens to you, but what happens in you.
But what I'm trying to get, and you're not trying to see it through my eyes, I don't expect you to know, but what I'm saying is this. The people I found with me that tell me they lack confidence, I notice they're not able to say the word no. Because, hold on, no was beaten out of them. So rather than they hold it back. Now that person comes to your class and they have little, like my parents call them, they have a lot of little ropes hanging behind them. My thing is that for me, my lesson is to say, well, you know what you experience if they would know. So if you're going to say no, and that is part of all the stuff they're writing, they can say, okay, so when you say no to somebody, especially a child, give them a reason.
Right. Okay. I think. See, I think. But Tess, I think what you're saying is true, but you have to look at it in context, because why are they saying no, and who is the person saying no? And they have to understand what you understand. That if you, like the way you raised your kids, you gave them a reason, you gave them context, so they would not personalize it. But the truth is, children, all of us, but children internalize everything. Even when it's not their fault, they can see their parents arguing and fighting, and they feel like it's their fault.
We are coaching adults and we're telling them, you know what happened to you.
Right.
So your job is to make sure that does not happen to these little people behind you. That's why their confidence is low, because they
but Tess, that's not, you know, I don't like to disagree with you, but that's not always true. I've coached adults and they don't know they're clueless. Or they might be in denial. They may be delusional. I'm serious. It's like, hold on, how are we ever going to get to this if we don't get to the reality of the situation? And they are in denial. They are delusional. They don't really want to face it. They might be clueless. They might be totally oblivious to what's really going on. So now that's a whole nother thing. We can't even get into the doing part until we take care of the inner game.
Okay.
So what you're saying is true. I think it's true for you in that context. But it's not a one size fits all. Not in my experience. Not in all the.
There's no size fits all. But one I know for sure, that no, not having the ability to say no is very common. And to be honest with you, it is predominantly common in our race, because we have a beating system.
Yeah.
And as they're beating you, they're telling you, don't tell me no.
Right.
You know.
So I'm qualifying what you're saying is true. I want to say is that you have to look at it in context, because a parent saying that.
Let's move on, because we're not going to agree on that. But you know what? I will still talk to you about it later.
Okay. But So where are we at? We're talking about
at social confidence.
So social confidence. We talked about the three areas of confidence: self-confidence, success confidence, and social confidence. And then you asked me earlier about believing in yourself, and there are different things you can do to believe in yourself more. And I'm a big proponent, because I got a book coming out soon. Well, it's coming, but affirmations are everything, because affirmations are something you can take. You are in control of your confidence. When you have affirmation, you do them properly, you are in control of your level of belief. Now, there's some other things that you can do to build up your inner confidence or your self-confidence. And another one is that you can hang around people like Tess. Because look, when you hang around confident people, your thinking will change. When you look, you know as well as I do, we all had this. We've had people in our life who believed in us more than we believed in ourselves. And it made us believe in ourselves more. And that's why I say you got to be on the Tessa-Marie show, because she's going to help you believe in yourself more.
But you have a course for that, so you also have something in it. With confidence, like you talk about self-confidence, and you talk about confidence on a whole basis. A lot of confidence.
I like to talk about confidence comprehensively, because when the subject of confidence come up, I watch everybody, I hear everybody, and I like to come from it. I hear people talk about confidence sometimes more on a surface level, or even not, and which is okay, but I like to go deep. I like to go from knowing to understanding. I like to go from, I like comprehension. I like all of it. And some people only touch, and to their credit, maybe they just don't know, but some people only touch on bits and parts of it, and sometimes they get it wrong. And I have respect. I just listen and learn. But I think confidence is the solution to fear. It's the solution to success. It's confidence. I always say confidence is everything in everything. You have to deal with it because fear is always here. Doubt is always here. Confusion, negativity is always here. And the only way you're going to overcome all that is with power. What you said earlier, confidence is power. Confidence is strength. Confidence is boldness. Confidence is all those things that you need to win in life and succeed. And everybody has the need to succeed. It's built into our system.
So that confidence you're talking about, if somebody, give me 3 things somebody can do today to help build their confidence. Just 3 points. That they can
okay, 3 points. I got more. I got a lot of them. But 3 points. 3 points. Let's say, number 1, I'm going to give you, can I give you 4?
You can give me 100 if you want.
No. I mean, in fact, I tell you what, this is going to introduce a brand new model that I created because I had a dream about this a few days ago. And then I knew I was going to be on your show. And I said, I want to introduce this brand new model to Tessa-Marie audience. It's called the Confidence Quadrant. Okay? This is what it looks like. And I'll explain to you real quick. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
Take your time. You got it? Can you see it? Now, when you talk about what you said, what are some things you can do right away to start building your confidence? Number 1, the first quadrant is attitude. We have to change your attitude. You have got to have a positive attitude. It's the only way. And I'm also going to weave in the 4 attitudes you must have. So the first attitude is the attitude of practice. Confidence just don't happen automatically. You have to do something. And part of doing something is doing those affirmations every single day. You do them on at a regular time, repetitively, religiously, regularly, and you have to do your affirmations. And that's a whole nother stream talking about affirmations, because I need to break that down. But because most people don't do affirmations properly, like, oh, it doesn't work. Yeah, because you're not doing it right. So we actually have to teach people and train people how to properly do affirmations. But that's number 1. So you got to have an attitude of practice. And so attitude, number 1, you have to change your attitude. It's an inner game. Number 2, actions. See that? Action. And also the letter A, actions. So confidence comes by doing. That's the outer game. You have to do something. So with confidence, I call it the attitude of performance. You got to go perform a task. The more you do something, the more confident you become. You have to take action. The third one, and this is good. Now we get into the social game, okay? This is the attitude of productivity, and that's associations. You got to associate yourself with like-minded people. You cannot win this game by yourself. Life is a team sport. The first 2 you can do by yourself. You could fix your own attitude, you could take action. But the other 2, I'm about to come to, is association. Association is like what we're doing. We're associating. People build up people. People make people, and people break people. If you hang around a confident person because of that energy, you're going to be more confident. If you hang around a negative person, they're going to bring you down. We call them energy vampires. Am I right? So the solution to that is this: association. Get yourself into a community. What I mean by join a membership like what we have, movement makers. When you're around like-minded people, you will become more confident. And the last one is affiliations. Affiliations, now that's a higher level. That is more being part of a mastermind. And that is the attitude of partnership. When you're in a mastermind, you're part of a partnership. And those guys are really high achievers. They're on a whole different level. So normally, I normally just stick with the 1, 2, 3, the attitude, the actions, and the associations. But affiliations, you got to be almost invited to be in that group. It's like an exclusive group you have to be invited to be part of. It's a mastermind. But those are still, I want to give you one extra one because it's part of the confidence quadrant. But those are 4 of the quickest ways to build your confidence. But the thing what I was saying about attitude and affirmations and actions, you gotta, it's like building a muscle. You gotta do it on a regular basis. Some people want to just do it, they want to just do it a little bit here, a little bit there. Then they wonder later why they're not confident. Because everything you do in life is going to require confidence. Everything you think is going to require confidence. So this is not something you can take time off. It has to be a lifestyle. And to me, the best way to make it a lifestyle is to hire a confidence coach.
And I see, and there you are. You are the confidence coach. And let us ask our audience, is there anything you guys would like to ask Zan? He's the confidence coach. Is there one tip you would like from Zan?
Talk to me. Let's go.
He's
Let's
here.
go. I'm on Tessa-Marie
And
show.
all is free. He's not charging you for this one. So, ask him a confidence. The man is sweating. He has it in him. He's giving it to you. Take it.
Let's go. I'm standing up for this. I'm not even sitting down. I'm standing up.
Okay, so
bring it for Tessa-Marie. Tessa is special.
we have some
So
questions.
whatever you guys want to ask, I have the answer. Let's go. Now that's but I know I have the answer because I've studied this thing. I've studied this for over a decade.
Pamela Bush, please talk about the gender connection. That is from Rosita Bud. Please talk about the gender connection to confidence and young girls. How do you do that?
Okay, so talk about the gender connection to confidence and what else?
But for young girls.
For young girls, listen.
To confidence.
For young girls, look, this young girls, they have. I think young girls has an advantage. The most important thing for young girls is 2 things: focus. Because if you're not careful, the media will have you. You could be a beautiful young girl, and the media will have you hating yourself. Your environment, the entertainment. So focus on who you are and your purpose, and your talents and your gifts, and you're unique. Quit comparing yourself to other people because social media have you all twisted, comparing yourself to other people. And number 3, associate yourself with the right people. There's some people you don't need to be around. I'm sorry. We're talking about saying no. Sometimes you got to say no to certain invitations and say no to certain people because if they're not bringing positive energy, no.
No. Here is the word no.
And I know sometimes it's going to be tough because look, women are very emotional and I love it. They have a lot of love in their heart. They have a lot of empathy and sympathy, but you got to get away from negative people. And sometimes girls have a tendency of being jealous of each other. Be around people who love you and accept you because if not, those same people that you're trying to please, who are jealous of you and all that, all they're going to do is bring down your confidence and eat it up. And now you're going to be doing things to try to please them and get them to accept you. Screw them. And sometimes you have to, you know what? And this is another thing for women and girls. Close your circle. Sometimes it's better to be around 5 close friends who are positive than 15 negative people.
That's some very good advice. That's great.
Because your self-esteem is, look, your self-esteem is everything. Women wear their self-esteem on their sleeve. And so you have to protect your mind and your feelings and your emotions at all costs. And the people women are more social than men. They're social beings. So the people you socialize with will make or break you. That's why I said focus and be very selective of who's going to be in your inner circle. And I know some people like this, but sometimes develop a clique. You know, like you had in high school, you had a little clique. There you go. Because that clique is going to serve you and support you. Because nobody got time to be walking around here feeling bad and all the drama and everything else. Who's got time for that?
I'm going back to your teenage years because I want you to give me one confident thing. One from your father, one from the church, and one from high school that made you.
Ooh, that's a good one. My father, one of the best things my father ever did for me is that he never said anything negative to me about me. Never. He always believed I was going to be strong. I was going to be smart. My father lived, you talking about by example. I saw my father growing up as a teenager, have his own business, have other grown men work for him. My father was a business owner, and that does something to a young guy. That does something to your self-image. It does something to your self-esteem. It makes you feel strong and powerful. It's because of my father I'm the man I am today. I love my mother dearly, but my father gave me my foundation. He made me into the man I am today. And my mother, of course.
And for
I'm
fathers,
sorry?
you guys are hearing it from Zantheman, young fathers. So make sure you plant those seeds early. This is the result.
Yes. And here's another thing my father did. You said about the church. When I was about 13, maybe 12, 13, 14, I can't remember exact. I think 13, 14, my father gave me a Bible and he gave me an allowance. And he told me every single day, read the book of Proverbs. Now, some people that may not know out there, the book of Proverbs is the book of wisdom. I'm 14 years old, and he said, and I said, Dad, I don't understand it because it's got all the different, D's and dollars in there. He said, it doesn't matter. He says, just read it. And so the book of Proverbs has 31 chapters in it. And there's normally 30 or 31 days of the month. So whatever day of the month was, that's the chapter I had to read. And I read that for years. So if today is, I think, the 6th, I'll be reading in the morning before I go to school, first thing in the morning. He understood how it was planted into my subconscious mind. I'll read the 6th chapter of Proverbs. Whether I understood it or not, I just read it. And over a couple of years later, I'm 15, 16 years old, I was wiser than all of my friends. All of my friends. And part of that's because, again, we talked about associations. I always hung out with my father. I had friends I hung out with. I always hung out with my grandfather, my Uncle Jetty. You're getting wisdom from the older generation.
That's for sure.
And so when you see your friends do stupid stuff, you're like, man, I don't want to do that. Why? Because my mindset is not young. My mindset is mature. Even when it came to dating women, I grew up with my mother, all my sisters, all my female cousins, and they taught me that to be a man, you must respect women and you must treat them good. And even, I think even to this day, but for a long time, if a woman cried, she'd get what she wanted. Because I developed a goal for women. That's why I wouldn't play women. I wouldn't mistreat women, because how I was taught to respect women. And when I can't name names, but when I saw my friends do what they did to different women, I like, dude, I can't hang out with you no more. Dude, what's the big deal? I can't, because I don't want to be around that kind of energy. Because I have I love women. Women have made me what I am. You follow me? I mean, to this day, I'm very close. I have 2 sisters. I have an older sister and a younger sister. I'm very close to both of them. I have all these nieces and grandnieces and all that. They love me. They love me. I mean, it's just the best thing in the world.
So let us look at what happened in high school.
In high school, I did very good in high school. I don't want to say, okay, Tess, you always get stuff out of me I don't want to share, but I was popular in high school. In high school, I had a lot of friends in high school. People would come to me for advice because I was wiser than all my other friends. So women, girls, and guys would come to me for advice, and I was sometimes considered the teacher's pet because I did so good in school. I would finish my lesson before other people, and the teacher like, okay, go help this other person, help them with their math or their accounting. And so sometimes they're like, oh, you're the teacher's pet. But at the same time, it was an honor, because then the other students would like me more too, because I'm helping them figure out problems, because I would know how to do it, So I would get awards and plaques when I was in school. But that comes from having a good foundation for my family, because we believed in education. We believed in doing good.
Well, that is really good. I wanted to touch on that because I came across that when I learned that from you. So I wanted to touch on that because it's really important to realize that those 3 things had an impact of you are today. And my confidence is slightly different, because I developed confidence at a very early age. I was taught how to be confident. I was trained how to be confident.
Yes. You just nailed it.
I was taught how to walk into a room and how to pause at the door for a second and yet see who is in the room. Because it was just something that was taught. Your body does not have to move, just your eyeballs move.
Yeah. Tess walks in and she's like this.
When you walk into the room, you take in the energy of the room.
You don't have to be doing it. You just look around.
Yes, you look around body with your eyeballs.
Susie's in the house. What's up, Susie?
Your body does not move. Your eyes move. And and then you zero in on the target you're looking for. Because you seen the target before the target seen you. So you are
Yes.
so confidence was something that was ingrained in me. I never lacked it. But I always wanted to learn more. And because of that, I knew there were various, like you said, various degrees of lack of confidence and how people can get it. I find that a lot of people use the arrogance you talked about as being confident, and that is so devastating and it's destructive, and it really limits people from learning and growing.
But in some cases it works. People say fake it till you make it. It can trick some people, and people use it because it works. But if you stick around long enough and test them, they'll fall apart.
It's crap.
Let me ask you a hard question, Tess. Here's a question you've never gotten before. I know you said you grew up and you said something that's really good. You said you was taught and trained to be confident, and that's what it takes. What do you do, or what have you done? Because you're human, right? When you have those moments when you're not confident, how do you maintain your confidence?
Well, I'm glad you brought it up, because if I'm not confident in something, number one, I withdraw and I pray. I have a very strong faith. I was brought up as a Christian, a Catholic. So we prayed when we wanted rain at school, and we wanted sunshine so we could play sports. We were taught by the nuns to pray. We prayed for everything. It didn't matter what we wanted, we prayed. We prayed because we wanted to get 100%. We prayed. So when I don't feel confident, the first place I go is in silence and stillness.
Mm-hmm.
That is normal for me. I just withdraw, and I taught it to my children. And I was taught that by my mom and my grandmother, her mother. And you go in silence and stillness, and you talk to God like I'm talking to you. So
very good.
That you almost have an argument with God. So we were taught to go to the point people are afraid of talking to God, but they don't know where this guy is, but they're afraid of talking to him. Yeah, he's inside of you, right?
Right.
So we were taught to say, okay, here you are. You're the creator. You made me. You did all this stuff. You put me together. You made me like, you told me you created me just like you, and I come to you and you're not hearing me. Come on, man. Show me. Shake my roots. Show me something. I'm sitting here and I don't have the confidence to attack this, or I don't know what to do. So I'm coming back to source. And that was how we were literally trained to pray hard. So we had books, prayer books, and my mother, I had a prayer book once, and she took it from me and she said, you know, the prayers in there belongs to the person who wrote them. If you want to write your own prayer, what it is you want, what it is you desire from your God. So that is when I'm not confident, that's where I go. I go there.
Can I tell you something, Tess? I've asked authors this question. I've asked some of the most accomplished people I've ever met in my life. Because for years, I don't do it now, but I'm probably going to redo it when as I develop my YouTube channel more. But I used to interview people about confidence. I used to interview CEOs. I used to interview models. I used to interview really, people who's supposed to be quote unquote accomplished in life. And I know for them to get to where they're at, unless they cheated or somebody gave it to them, you had to develop confidence to achieve that. And you can have confidence in different areas of life. You can be confident over here, but not over here. Because why? Because you didn't practice it over here. And the point I'm making is that I've talked to, it's got to be at least over 100 people I've interviewed about the subject of confidence. You have given the best answer anyone has ever given. I'm going to tell you why. Because I talked earlier and I says that inner game, outer game, and social game. Those are the 3 games of confidence. What I don't talk about publicly, which is there's really one more game. It's the ultimate game. It's the spiritual game.
Of course.
And because a lot of people, because that falls, the reason why I don't talk about it much, it falls in different, it falls on people in different ways. And it can be sometimes controversial. So I kind of deal with people where they are in the flesh and blood and how the mind and the soul and the body works. But the spirit, you know what faith is? Faith is the spiritual equivalence of confidence. Without faith, everything else doesn't work. Belief doesn't work. Confidence doesn't work, because that is the essence. It's the unseen that creates the seen. Because at the end of the day, we're spiritual beings with a soul living in a body. And
no, I agree with you. Faith is strength.
So when you gave that answer about faith, that is the ultimate, because that's the spiritual quality of confidence. Everything comes from that. But because of people's different, ideologies and stuff, I normally don't introduce the spiritual game. But the spiritual game trumps all the other games. It trumps, it trumps the mind and the soul and the body and everything else out here.
Again,
so, wow. Tess, you're amazing.
Thank you. But I'm humbled. But because I am not a herd collector, I don't follow the herd. And so when I talk about my faith. I just say, I believe in God. I'm a Christian. I have confidence and I believe and I have faith. And my faith makes me know that no matter what I do, my God's got my back.
Dina got a good question for you. She's like, what is ego, if you haven't discussed it already? You want to touch on ego?
Oh, we didn't go last night. You don't want to go there. We were...
Go ahead. Touch on ego.
I had ego last night because somebody asked me what I did. A friend, an acquaintance, not a friend. She asked me, she said, you don't ever lack for content. Like you always find content. Every day you have something new. And I said, of course every day, because I work on it. That is something I do. I plan it. I focus on it. And she said to me, and I said, every day I look for a golden nugget. I go digging in the mines for a golden nugget. I go into the depths of the ocean for a black pearl. And then I go to the mines in Canada, northern mines, to get a pink diamond. I dig for that. And she told me I was arrogant.
Oh my gosh, But again, that's what I'm saying. People have different understandings and definition of different things. And sometimes you don't know where that comes from. It could come from her feeling insecure or being jealous of you. It could come from her having a bruised ego. You don't know where it comes from.
Something, I want somebody to find this thing, this ego, and show it to me in material form.
Well, I give you my quick take on ego. I have my own definition of what ego means, but I give you the popular definition of ego. They say EGO stands for edging God out.
Yeah, everybody says that.
But my definition of ego is emotions getting out of control. So sometimes people are all into their ego is because their emotions are not checked. And I'm a big believer. I think your ego, you can control your ego. I think your ego is not your amigo. So if you don't control your ego, it will control you. And it will have you locked up, and have you fighting, and have you doing all kind of stuff because your emotions got out of control. So when you control your emotions and master your emotions, you will master your ego. Again, like I said, your ego is not your amigo. He's not your friend. But it's a thing that you must control. You have to control it. If you don't control it, there are grown men who are dead now, who are in jail because they could not control their ego.
Why do we blame it on ego? Why don't we blame it on emotions that went haywire? Why do we?
I said emotions getting out of control.
Yeah, I understand that, but
the reason why, because ego is so attached to people's identity.
That is so silly.
That's why when you know who you are, you can let things pass. You can choose and pick your battles. Because if you can't control your ego, that means somebody else can control your ego. Somebody else can tap you and trigger you when they want to.
Who said your ego has to be bad? Can't you, the same way we have various levels of self-confidence, why can't we have various levels of ego? Why can't we have a smaller amount of ego that you need for you to survive?
The ego is necessary. It's necessary, just you have to control it, because without ego, you're not going to take pride in anything that you do.
But there you go. That is what I'm trying to say. Everybody looks at the worst end of the spectrum of ego.
That's because you know why? Because they're speaking from their experiences, whether their own experience or they see somebody else's experience. But there is a place where you can have mastery, and mastery is not going to come. Here's, you know what? If you really want me to really break it down, really the only way you can control your ego, you gotta get yourself together spiritually.
That's on that. Another group of words that have just gotten me on the edge, because I am a word person. Words means something different to me. I see a word and I can take it apart. I can create from a word, one word. So the new thing I'm hearing over and over again, and I'm right here with it. Oh, they have limiting beliefs. What is that?
Say it again. Say it again.
Everybody goes, oh, they have limiting beliefs that keeps them back. That is a
well, yeah, but Tess, but that is a real thing, though.
But then all of a sudden, every real thing is limiting beliefs. What are their limiting beliefs? They cannot tell you.
Well, but they should be able to communicate that to you. But limiting beliefs is okay. Let me say this: you can only go as far as your beliefs can take you. So if you want to go to level 3, and your beliefs are at level 4, you're not going to get to level 3 because beliefs controls behavior.
But you're limiting. When you say they're limited, you're already
because it's limiting. It's limiting your ability to achieve more. It's limiting your ability because your ability. You have what it takes. I'll give you an example. You have what it takes, but if you don't believe more, you can't do more. And there's a lot of examples. I'm gonna give you a popular old school example. There was a guy by the name of Roger Bannister, and there was a big thing like, oh, you cannot run a 4-minute mile. Human beings can't run a 4-minute mile. And he changed his beliefs, and he ran a 4-minute mile. And you're like, wow, a human being ran a 4-minute mile because he changed his beliefs. When he did that, guess what happened to other people? They says within the next 6 months to 9 months, thousands of people ran a 4-minute mile. They always had the ability, they just didn't believe.
I understand.
So their belief held them back.
I understand perfectly what you're saying. I understand.
Like I said, their belief held them back. Their belief limited them to a certain level. But
who makes that decision? Who makes that decision to criticize? That is being critical. You're telling me this person over here has limited beliefs. Come on. Who gave you the right to be that judge?
But you have to look at society as a whole, Tess, because the history of man is a history of beliefs. Because what happens is that what you believe, you become.
That is not the point. Because you think that you decide, you look at me and say, oh, she has limiting beliefs. She just believes in this one thing. Oh, she doesn't do that because that's her belief. But who said it's limited? It's maybe not limiting that person to where they are. They have other things. So I don't like how we coin everybody and we put them in little boxes and boxes.
But Tess, that's how we communicate as a society.
No, but that's what we do. We put them in all of these little boxes.
Well, that's why. But Tess, that's why you have to get around other people who believe at a different level and to bring your beliefs up. Just like we were saying earlier. When even going back to high school, if a teacher, check this out, if a teacher do not believe in the student's ability, a lot of the students won't believe in their own ability. But when the teacher raises, they got studies on this. But when the teacher raises their standards on what a little person can do, that person believes in themselves more and do more.
All I'm saying is, why do we jump on the bandwagon when these little coins come out from somebody's mouth about
because that's how it works.
We don't understand that human being, or we haven't taken the time to find out where they're coming from. We put them in the little box says limiting belief. And
okay, you want me to be controversial? You want me to be controversial on your show, Tess? Okay, here's the answer. Okay, here's the answer. Because most people don't think for themselves. We have a herd mentality.
Well, there you go.
That's the truth.
Did you ever see that survey? Did you see that survey that the teacher did with children in a school? She told them all the blue-eyed children were smart.
Right.
And she moved the blue eyes from the brown-eyed kids.
Right.
And was that right? That devastated people.
But yes, but you know what? But we're talking about beliefs. People do believe. Yeah,
No. Those children now believe their brown eyes made them stupid. The blue eyes believe they were smarter.
Right.
But they didn't know that somebody made that for them.
But that's the point. So they will have a limited belief because they think, well, I can't do that now because they believe. Even though they have the ability, but hold on, even if they have the ability and the intelligence and the wherewithal, but if you believe you can't, you won't.
But somebody taught it to them.
Right.
Somebody.
That's why it's so important. That's why it's so important to have your voice out here and have shows like this, so we can say so we can help them not just tell them they can believe, but teach them and train them to believe more in themselves and have confidence.
Uses that I am so tired of hearing limited beliefs that I'm ready to take that those two words.
Tess, that's how it works.
I put bullets in there.
It's an identifier. That's how it works.
And
somebody just said something earlier. What did she say about the paradigm? Can you go back up? What did she say about the paradigm?
Let me see.
Nina said something about belief and paradigm.
Nina said something about that?
Yeah, she said something about belief and paradigm. I think she said, is there a difference in paradigm and beliefs? Do you see the comment? Just above Susie's?
Rosie, Donato.
Let me see. Nina said, let me see if I can scroll back.
Go back and see.
Nina said something in regards to, okay, here we go. Hey, Nina, what's up?
Hi.
She says, I'm going to throw it to you first, Tess, and then I'll pick it up. I'm going to piggyback off your answer. She says, is a limiting belief the same as a paradigm? Then question mark.
Well, yes, it's because you have to shift it. The paradigm you're living in, it maybe could be a limiting belief to somebody else, and you need to shift it. You shift your paradigm. But the decision has to be, when it's a paradigm, you are the one shifting it.
Okay, I think we're saying the same thing. There is a difference in a limiting belief and a paradigm. A limiting belief is more inner. It makes you even feel like you can't do something. But when there's a paradigm shift, there was some type of action involved, and you do not go back to what you was before. A quick example is this. Look at a limiting belief as a caterpillar. A paradigm shift is the butterfly. Once you have a paradigm shift, you cannot go back to being a caterpillar. No. It change forever.
Okay, so let us take this.
And also it involves your mindset.
Try to answer them and don't make them go too long.
Okay. Okay, look, so it's 6 o'clock now. We've been on for 1 hour and 7 minutes. How long do you want to keep me here?
Never have another show like that in your life, so get over it.
Okay, so you tell me what to do.
I just wondered if a limiting belief is the same as a paradigm, and you said something.
We answer that.
Okay, and then
you know what they should do? Look, you know what they should do, guys. If you want to, when you ask a question, hit the question box, the question symbol. It helps it go through better, and then it pops up on the screen. So hit the question symbol, and then we can answer much better when it pops up on the screen. But in regards to confidence, did we talk about everything you wanted to talk about?
Yes, we did. We went to limiting belief. It's the same as paradigm. We did that.
We did that one.
So if they have self-confidence from the beginning, they won't believe anything somebody. That's true. Good thing. That's a good answer. A living belief is the same as a paradigm. You said that. Coaching, if Susie said, so you are in control of your ego. Of course, you're in control of your ego, whatever that is. You know how I feel about that.
but again, even when we have kids like that, you notice I think we all can identify with this. When we was kids growing up, that was all you can tell the kids. I want to say this in a very delicate way. You can tell the kids who came from a home where the foundation was there. Because you can see the kids who act the fool and act up, and you saw certain kids who knew how to behave and get good grades. And so for me, I didn't even know I was practicing this, but I used to hang out with Angela and Brian. They always got A's in every single class. So whenever we had a class, I sit right next to them because I'm around that energy. So, and I learned from Angela and Brian, they would do this. If we had a homework assignment coming up, they would say the homework assignment was due on Friday, and today's Monday or Tuesday. They would have the homework assignment done the next day. I'm like, whoa! Their parents they told me and taught me that their parents, they doing homework assignments and doing your schoolwork was paramount. If you don't wait to the last minute, you get it done early. And when there was an assignment due, one of the best techniques I learned in school is if you got a 30-page or 30-chapter book to get through for the semester, and we see the syllabus, and we're on chapter 1, chapter 2, they would read 2 chapters, 1 or 2 chapters ahead. So when they came back to school, they was already ahead of the class. So when the teacher taught a lesson, it was easy to, even if there was a what they call it, a surprise test, they already had the answers. By me being around them, that's my point. I picked that up instead of me sitting in the back of the room with the knuckleheads who trying to be all cool and everything.
Okay, you know? Let's get that.
So one of the best things for children is this.
Susie asked a question. So she said, so you don't believe in ego. I believe in various stages of ego. I think you have to have a certain amount of ego to survive. And
we're born with the ego. We're born with the ego.
What is ego?
We're born with the ego, so you might as well learn how to control it.
You have to have
if you don't control it, it will control you.
That is if you don't have anything to back it up with. So you have to have a certain amount of ego. Ego comes with a little bit. You have to have some ego.
Yeah, but Tess, you're born with ego. It's part of your being. It's part of your nature.
I know you're born with it, but
I'm just saying, since you're born with it, you might as well learn how to control it. We don't all. I mean, when the younger, you'll think that the older we are, the better we can control it, but that's not always true. But when you're younger, it's even more harder to control it because you can't. It's hard to control your emotions. Yeah. Emotions getting out of control.
Yeah, your emotions will get out of control, I'm sure. But what I'm trying to say with that, I find it's very difficult to survive without a certain amount of ego. You need it.
You're right.
I can, just like everything, you can have 1 drink or you can have 29 drinks and you're drunk. So ego is...
Susie says, yes, I agree with you 100%. You need a little to pursue your goals and dreams, but remain humble. Yes, yes, yes. Coach, we miss you, Susie.
I agree. Susie knows that. You have to have a certain amount of ego. If you don't have it, you're not getting out of bed in the morning and face the world that we have to enter, especially as a woman. The most important is build the confidence in children because they're the creator of the future. Great sentence, Ali. I love that. Get rid of all the negative people. LOL.
But you know what? But here, can I say something about children real quick? It was so important when you're a kid growing up. You can't always make this decision. You're supposed to be able to choose your friends, but you don't always make the right decisions. That is why my parents were so strict on meeting my friends. They want to know who my friends were and who their parents were. Now, that's old school, but because the reason why they did that, because they know that their son is going to be shaped by the kids that they hang around.
This is something you should hear. Donato said we need to reprogram people in order to save them all. And that's what you're doing with your confidence thing. That is a nice statement. We need to
we're working on it. We're working on retraining their minds. So you have to first of all, you train the brain, but we found out we have to retrain the brain. People have to be retaught.
Rose said years of therapy helped her. Donato, in childhood, she had to get it. So and then she went to therapy and it helped her. So that
yes.
And confidence. Donato.
I think the best combination out there in life sometimes, because look, a lot of times we go through a lot of things and it's not even our fault. There's things that happen to us at a young age we had no control over, and then it has a traumatic effect on us sometimes, or a damaging effect on us. And I think the best combination out there is therapy plus coaching. And right next to that is invest in yourself and be part of a community of like-minded, like-hearted people that's going to support you and hold you up. That you can't win this game in life by yourself.
And that you have to answer. What type of business did your father have?
My father had he was a licensed refrigeration and heating contractor. So we would install and repair refrigerators and heaters, commercial and residential. And then later he became a real estate investor. We're really more of a You had to do all that. But it gave me a great, strong work ethic. But he later got into real estate, brought all these homes, fix them up. You know, he got them cheap, fix them up, and we rent them out. So my dad was always innovative, entrepreneurial, and just a great guy. I didn't realize how blessed I was until I met some of my other friends, and they didn't have it the way I had it. You know, so now I'm trying to do my best to teach young men the principles and the standards and some of the strategies that my dad taught me, so I could be a mentor to them. And that was one of my big motivations when I used to do stuff for the YMCA, the Girls and Boys Club, Big Brother, Big Sisters. I used to get in those programs and make such a profound difference in the lives of young people. Even when I used to DJ, I used to do Give Kids the World, Make-A-Wish Foundation. I used to donate my talent for free just to give back. But then also, and I used to go and speak to like middle schools and high schools, motivational messages, just to get them to believe in themselves more, have more confidence. And one of the biggest lessons I used to teach them is that your association determine your destination. So be very careful who you hang out with, because the people you hang out with is going to determine where you're going to be in the future. So your associations determine your destination.
I have an older one. Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And again, people will influence you. You could be a good person in a bad group, and they're going to influence you to do bad stuff. And you could be a bad person in a good group, and they're going to influence you to be good. So when you're a kid growing up, the most important thing to you is your social circle.
Somebody wants to know what time is dinner.
I know. Tess always, she keeps me on here forever. She never lets me go.
Ali said he has to pray. Forgive me. He has to go. Our people are leaving us to go eat, to go pray.
Hey Tess, you got me for 13 more minutes. That'd be 90 minutes.
Well, you know what? The point of it is that our guests are still here. People came and left and came back. We said them what we could. I'm trying to make sure we touch everything. Some of them were having like Donato and
but Tess, did I cover everything you want to talk about when it comes to confidence?
There's never enough when we talk. There's never.
I know. I've got more stuff. I mean, I've got more stuff. I got more strategies. I got more principles. I've got more. You name it. You ask. I got it.
Well, you know, there's one thing that you brought tonight that was very important to me. You came on time.
Of course. Because you know what? I don't mess with Tess.
Time is important to me. I really believe in the energy of time. It's a non-renewable resource. You don't get
it. Time is everything. I totally believe.
Anyway, I really enjoyed our conversation. I know I'm just as enigmatic as you are. So I know.
But no, look, Tess, when you call, the answer is always yes.
Listen to me. When you saw my show, when you saw I did it on the competence, concentration, clarity, and you said to me, "Oh, I want to be on with you," I said, "Okay." Because I told you, I said you heard I did it.
But you wouldn't change your time because I had to be on the show with Evan.
I know that, but that's okay. But then I accommodate you.
Because no, we're here now. Yes, we're here now. But I just thought the 4 C's. I was like, this is a great topic.
It was
the 4 C's. That's a great topic. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, you see, you have to have me on one of your shows to find out, because everybody's trying to find out how I get content, why I always have something to say. And you know, you can maybe pull it out of me. It doesn't come out. So anytime you want to have me talk about anything, I will go anywhere. You know that. You're a wealth. You are a wealth or a well of wisdom and information. Well, I mean, you live life. Live life. You've experienced a lot of success, and you really care about serving and helping people. Oh yeah, I love serving. I love helping. I love seeing people win. I love seeing somebody that is not doing it and take them and put and say, yes, you did. Like that. I don't even want to eat the day when they succeed.
Yes.
I'm going to celebrate.
Coach Susie says, time is everything. You can always make more money, but you can't get back wasted time.
No, I get wasted.
Man, I always say timing is everything. It's such a big part of a success. And I always use time as part of the ATM. I have a formula ATM: attention, time, and money.
You must be the person with the most acronyms in the entire universe.
But that's how my brain thinks. I think in acronyms. I think in frameworks. I think in 1, 2, 3s. That's just how my brain thinks. I always think in ways to simplify things and create frameworks and make it easier to teach. Because if you can make it easy to teach, it's easy to understand. If it's easy to understand, it's easy to apply and do.
But I see words. Words is like a movie in front of me. Like just somebody will say one simple word, and I will be able to make something out of it. So it's important for me.
Oh, look, Sharon is in the house. She's like, yes, I love to see people win. WIN.
But I guess we're not home tonight.
I love acronyms too.
Sharon came in. Hi, Sharon. Nina said it's easier to remember.
There's so many good people in the chat. Oh my, I love you guys.
Yeah, they came. The movement makers heard the call.
Movement it's such a special place. It really is.
This time thing messes me up. I agree, Sharon. I agree. Susie and I already crazy about time. I have to be time.
You should be a stickler for time. You should be.
I think time is because I think the energies of the world will hear you, and they come to us.
Hey, Teron, he said I came as soon as I could. Oh, you got to watch the replay of this one. We was on fire earlier. Right now, we're mellow right now. Earlier, we was on fire. Tess had me sweating. You got to watch the replay of this.
Love the Captain.
He says, I love the Captain America show. You know what? But that just means that the Captain America show, it just means that there's a star in all of us. There's a superhero in you, too. We all have a superhero in us.
Oh, well, that's right. It says we do. Everybody has it. But anyway, it was a fabulous night.
Oh man, yeah. That Tess brought the fire.
I came ready to pump. I was ready to fire and to pump.
And you know what's so beautiful, guys? This is what I love about Tess. She has her own thoughts, her own ideas on things, and we don't always agree on everything. About 95% we do, but that 5% is fire. And I love it, and that's how it should be. Because that's how you learn from each other. You gotta have sometimes different perspectives. If you can look up any word in the dictionary, check this out. Look up different words in the dictionary, and that word will have several different meanings. That's life.
No, don't mess with Tess, or you'll mess.
Yeah, don't mess with Tess.
You know what though? Remember, I am the first daughter.
And when Tess calls, you always say yes.
So I was in charge. I wasn't really in charge, but the household I came from, we were allowed to have this type of things. My father, at supper time at 7, it wasn't just supper; it was discussion. So we always had that. So I don't know how to. I have to have my point across. It's simple as that.
You should, and that's how you should have. You should, because you have your own mind.
It doesn't
you have your own way you process things and how you comprehend things. And just because I have a perspective, there's going to be people out there like, oh, I get that. You're going to have a perspective, they're going to resonate with that. There's no right or wrong. It's just different perspectives and context.
But that is one thing we must remember is that if we don't have differences, we wouldn't have all the innovation and all these things that we have in the world today. The differences brought us different choices in the iPhone, the telephone. All of these things came about because people had to try different things and they went their different roads. They did different things to get to the same street. And they might have...
One of the things that distinguished me and made me super successful in the entertainment industry is that I had 2 things going for me a lot of other DJs didn't have. Bye, Sharon, the Salon chat. But 2 of the things, it piggybacks off what you just said. I had variety and versatility. If you have variety and versatility in almost anything, you're going to be unique and stand out from the other. If you're just same old like everybody else, they will put you in a box.
you have to get out of the box, right?
Yeah. And that
Yeah.
takes a lot of confidence to get out the box
Yeah.
and be you and do you.
Well, guys, it is almost time for bed, for Zan's bedtime. So,
It's only 6:25 here. Dinner
Zan,
is at 7.
so please, I'm so honored that you spent all that time. It was an hour and almost a half, 4 minutes to the half hour. And it was entertaining. It was positive. It was pushing the envelope. It was taking the envelope back and putting a new card in the envelope. We touched on all sorts of subjects. And I had I liked the opening about Zantheman had a fantastic and varied career. So
Thank you.
people for a coach, a confidence coach, and if you need to have it done to you properly, Zantheman is the man for you. And
Thank you, Tess.
levels you've never been. He loves acronyms, which makes, Nina said, makes it easier to understand. I agree. And one of the things you're going to learn from Zan is how to do the better of you, how to get better than you are, how to grow, how to excel, how to accelerate,
Oh, Nina's so sweet. Nina says I can listen to the two of you all night. Nina, thank you.
Oh, that's so lovely, Nina. Thank you for that. I didn't see that.
Yes, Tehran, if you watch, check out the first, I don't know, the first 45 minutes was fire. I mean, it was just, oh, you got to go back. I might go back and watch the show. It was fire.
These things, but it's important that we had this interaction tonight because it's movement makers. We support each other. So Zan is doing his coaching. His book is coming out soon. His courses are on the way. A new website is set in place. He's just having all sorts of things. And of course, I just love to talk. So,
technically, a lot of my stuff is ready, but I am following the timing and the direction of my coach and mentor, Evan. He says, okay, don't release that yet. Do this first. So there's a certain order he wants me to do things in. And I trust my coach. I trust my coach. But we've got some things coming out, and we're going to be making some announcements, and there's going to be a lot of focus in the beginning on Built to Serve coaching. I'm the certified Built to Serve coach, and we're going to roll that out real soon. And we got the website coming out. That's going to be launching real soon. The confidence coaching is still there too. That's going to be an add-on. But right now we're going to push the Built to Serve coaching program.
Well, that is great. Look forward to that. And if you guys looking for a speaker, I'm available.
Yes, Tess is amazing.
Not your Built to Serve thing. Go and do your stuff. Any of you out there, I'm going to be doing I'm going to do
Tess, can you, if you don't mind sharing, could you share with us some of the topics that you speak on?
Oh my God, you really want to go there?
Besides,
five pillars of prosperity, of course.
Okay.
I speak on a lot of it. I speak on finance. Finance is huge in my life, and I speak about the belief, faith. I speak on a lot on spirituality because it's part of your core. So when I speak, I build people up. So I inspire you to do better than you could do. I make you believe. It's confidence, but not in the way that yours is a wider base. I use confidence with competence, concentration, and clarity. So yes. I speak a lot about silence and stillness. I love that because if you cannot find silence and stillness, you cannot get up to move and go face the rumbling of the world. So I teach.
That's a whole nother broadcast because what you just said, it's the silence and the stillness. You know, how do I say this? Clarity. Clarity is the opposite of confusion. One of the enemies of confidence. When I have a client come into my thing, the first session is always a clarity session because we can't get to confidence unless there's some clarity. And what you just said is just, woo, that's fire.
I change words. I change people's words. I make them use different words. So I talk about, I don't use, like if you say the word hate, where do you hear it? I would ask you, where does it feel? If you say the word I prefer, where does that come from? So I teach them to use that different. So you choose. You don't, like the word want is never fulfilled because want is never satisfied. So I would say I desire.
Right.
So I teach that. So I listen to it. When my friends talk, I'm always saying, you know, so, like my friend told me she had a bad knee. And I said, what did it do? Why is it bad? So that's how I do it.
So you really kind of cover the whole person in the topics you talk about. You don't leave out the spiritual person. You don't leave out the financial. You kind of cover everything.
I do. Even if they don't believe in the God that I believe in, and they believe in the universe, they came from a cow, I don't care. The point of the matter is that whatever your belief in, are you strong in it? So I don't tell them that they should visit my God. I meet them where they are. And all of that work I did within myself and my friends, and I taught it to my children. So, and my family, it's huge in our family. They'll call me.
Yeah.
Yet on the other hand, math is very easy for me. So
well, you guys know that Tess and I can go for like another 90 minutes.
Oh,
we're already at 91 minutes. So we are going to go ahead and I'm going to let Tess do the sign off. But guys, on behalf of myself and Tess, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. We really value, you could be any place in the world, but you spent your time, you invested your time and energy here supporting us and being here and making all the comments and asking questions. We hope that we served you well. And I'm going to bid you guys a good night, but I'm going to give it back to Tess and let her sign off.
Okay. Thanks, Zan. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. You're the best.
So thank you, everybody, for coming. And it has been a pleasure. Each and every one of you was special. As I said, you chose to press the button and jump in tonight and help us, because without you, we couldn't have done what we did tonight. We're satisfied that you are satisfied, and we're joyful because we do interactive. It was Rosie and Nina and Teron.
Yeah.
So, and I have to just say all your names, and Nina and Teron and Rosita and Susie, of course, and Sharon.
And I saw Angela, she was here earlier also. Angela came in.
Angela dropped in, you know, and everybody came in. So guys, it is such a one tornado. There's so many.
I think Erasmus jumped in also.
Yes, yes. So there was a lot of, and Susie came, and you guys, Rosita came in, Jen.
Yes.
A lot came in and just gave us a wonderful evening. It was amazing. I cannot, you know.
Thank you for doing this, Tess. Thank you for inviting me to come on the Tessa-Marie show.
Yes.
Let's go.
Nina, you are very, very you're very involved in the show, and Susie and Donato and Rosita. And Karen Sunini, that was nice of you. Thanks for joining us. Yoko was here.
Oh, that's right. Yoko was here. That's right. I did see her name. That's right.
Yoko came and Fall 10 Fall. Thank you for joining us. There was somebody living life without divorce, something like that, or life after divorce, something like that was there.
Oh yeah.
Ali was there, Donato, of course, everybody, Rosita, so many of you. Look at my finger, my hand is going to stop rolling.
Okay. Good night, guys. Thank you so much. Tess, thanks again.
Thank you, everybody. I'm just scrolling to see if I don't want to miss anybody. I want everybody to know we appreciated them. Poor Ali is from India. Poor Ali, he should be in bed.
Okay, God. I'm signing off.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
In a self-confidence. Oh, they love that, eh? Thanks, guys. Everybody was there. It was a beautiful night. Thank you for giving us all your love. And Christina was there, and Belinda was there. Tiggy was there. Oh my goodness. We have to send a note tomorrow. And everybody was there. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Bye, guys.